night, and here we go. We're getting ready to go, and it's a very, very special live episode today. We've got two things to cover. One, we're going through a success interview, and I think one of the other reasons why a lot of you here is that we have a bucket. It's got names in it. That's got my name on it, and we're going to pick our winner of the actual $2,000 Accelerator sweepstakes. So somebody whose name is in this hat is going to win access to our PMP Accelerator Program and going to get me and my team to guide them step by step to their PMP. Now, as we go into that, we're going to, let it, kind of resonate with you as people start to roll in, and we're going to bring in Marianne Smith. So Marianne is here. What's going on, Marianne?
Hey there, Scott. How's it going?
Pretty good. It's good to talk to you. So you just passed your PMP. Before we go to the person that wins the sweepstakes, I want to learn about how your exam went. So you just passed. How do you feel?
I feel like a weight is off my shoulder. I mean, actually, that's a major accomplishment to get this certification. So I feel great.
That is awesome. So everybody's got their own little story. What's the little arc, the story of how you got here? Was it easy breezy, like you went through, or did you have some rocks in the way? What was it like?
No, I'm not sure what everyone else's story is. About 2 years ago, I decided to embark onto a PMP certification. I took a class at a local community college. The information was, very good, but it was not, I didn't feel comfortable enough to take the test. So I never took the test. I took a class again last year, which gave me more information, but I felt as though I was still lacking, not coming from that type of environment, even though I may have done some projects, but it wasn't to, I guess what I say, to specifications as you would do with PMI. Ran across Scott's class, and I was like, okay, he makes it seem so simple. Let me try it, and see that it's worked. I was reading the success stories, and I decided, I was going to embark upon, learning to pass this test the way Scott had formatted it to be so.
That's awesome. So that is cool. So when you started the accelerator, what was it like? Were you nervous? Did it make things easy? Did you like the environment? You like the videos? What was it like, first couple days you were in?
So the first couple of days I took the class, the first one, you take the class, you go through the sessions, right? And I'm just looking at it and trying to understand it. It wasn't kind of coming to me. It didn't click. By day 2, I'm getting the feel for, what's this expected. It still didn't click. But by day 3, I'm like, okay, maybe I kind of understand what PMI is trying to do here. But I continued to move forward and to, trying to understand the information. One of the things that I realized was that I was looking at, going over the videos and listen to what Scott was saying, and then try to write a note for everything. Yeah. I was trying to create my own data dump, which is I should not have been doing. So therefore, I was not really comprehending what he was saying. So I had to realize this is not the best way to go. But yes, after day 3, I continued to try to understand in day 4, and the good thing about these courses is that if you don't understand, go back and do it again. Yeah,
no doubt. No doubt. And so as you went through that, and you have some perspective, you went through a lot of coaching calls and stuff, how were the accountability calls? Did they help you out? Who was your coach? Talk us through it.
Yeah, so I would attend Scott's hard question made easy courses once a week. Sometime I would try to get to the classes on 12 noon if my work schedule permitted. And what they do is basically break down, the structure of a question. What are you trying to do? Why are we trying to do it? Where are you at in the project life cycle?
Right.
What process group are you in? Try to really understand and see how things are working together. Then my accountability call with my coach, he broke down the schedule for me, what I should be doing week by week by week, and what type of questions that we may have. And then for the questions, we really dug deep into those questions. My accountability coach was Rob. And so while we're digging deep in those questions, he would draw a bike or whatever it took so we can, understand it. And I always say, make it as kitchen English,
Yes.
very simple, where an elementary child would be able to understand.
That is awesome. That's cool. I'm glad it went well. So like, as you went through and you started to learn, like, what do you think is wrong, if you can use the word wrong, with traditional training, or what was different with the accelerator that they didn't have in the traditional kind of method, in your opinion?
I think what is different with this than some of the other classes I've taken was that, again, go back to the kitchen English, right?
Mm-hmm.
Down the format and the structure of it. It's one thing to say, I'm going to go and I'm going to take the class. But one thing I realize is that, for one, you have a foundational aspect to the courses. This is why you're doing this for PMP. This is how this is done. These are how the questions are, and this is what we're expecting. Here are some keywords to look out for. This is why you should look at this. What, like I said, where are you in the particular process, which knowledge area, and then you kind of like walk you through, so therefore you'd be able to comprehend it more so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, what do you think the biggest mistakes that students can make? Everybody's worried that they're not studying the right stuff or they're doing it wrong. Like, in your opinion, what are some of the mistakes that people could make as they go about this?
Listen, I know there's so much information and we're trying to retain all of this, but I think the biggest problems students make, and as well as I was making, was I was trying to memorize so much. And that was the biggest mistake. If you can really, like I said, comprehend what is actually happening and know how they are aligned to each other, that's where you're going to win.
That's awesome. So just to be very, very clear, should you, as a student, because I talk to people every day and they're like, I hear you, Scott, I understand what you're saying, I hear Marianne and other students like that, but I'm still going to hedge my bets and I'm still going to memorize stuff. Do you think that students have to memorize things?
I don't think you have to memorize. I think that you need to know, as they say, you need to know that you know that you know what you're doing. Why am I doing this? When should I do it? What is, entailed in this? What type of, inputs and outputs? And I don't even know all the inputs and outputs, but I have an understanding in why it should go here and what should not go there. I didn't have to memorize all of those, but I do have an understanding why we're doing this and how we added to it.
I love it. I love it. What was your Agile understanding previous to the course? How deep did you know Agile?
So I did take an Agile course previously as well. So nice. I do have some knowledge, but this even broke it down more so because that class I took maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So basically it was almost, coming back and get some relearning in reference to Agile. But, it just broke it down even, clearer for me. This is what's happening, because even when you get into Agile, you're thinking, okay, not only do I have to learn waterfall, but now I have to learn Agile, right? But then the other intricacies of Agile, the backlog, why we're doing this, the difference between the teams, the relationships between the different teams, how we're doing this as far as what is the Scrum Master supposed to do, or the project manager supposed to do, who is the product owner, what is the product backlog, who has control. So it breaks it all down for you, so you no longer have to question those items.
You know what I love about the way you're talking about stuff? You're speaking in questions and things like, what does the product owner do? Like, why does the backlog exist? How would it help? Like, you're thinking through it. And I don't know, did that help? Like, because we talk in questions all the time and we're trying to put it on you to have your answers come there so we can work with you. But was it helpful to think through and like make it relatable to you to think through in question sense in a way?
Yeah, and that's where it goes back to when I said that I had to understand and how everything worked. It finally clicked for me. At first, it wasn't clicking when I was taking those other courses. But now it's like, okay, I really understand why we're doing what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. Do you feel like you're a better project manager since going through this course and thinking and working with the coaches and all that other things?
Oh, yes, it's only been a couple of days and my confidence is already up there. I've already volunteered for another project at work. So yes, it definitely has helped with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, a lot of people get nervous. They get test anxiety. They get other things. Were you nervous in the exam, or did you had spent a lot of time studying?
So yes, I was very, very nervous. I was like on high alert, with sweaty palms. But the thing about it, I was very confident because I had studied, I had prepared, I had gone over all those questions. And one of the things as I was getting close to, especially the day of the exam, but one thing that Rob, our coach, told us, continue to practice those questions, those simulated questions, those process and knowledge area questions. And I would do those every day. If I couldn't get to the 60 questions, I would always do at least 20, at least 2 times a day. I would just continue to regurgitate the information, not so much of memorizing it, but to go back to understand it. So if I miss a question, why? Then I can go back, and there's a place in our profile where you can go back and review and say, this is the answer. Okay, now I can go back to the PM1 view or the glossary and get that definition, try to understand why this is such, why this is the answer, and why, I missed it, and try to fix it moving forward.
That's awesome. I love you said you were nervous. It's okay to be nervous. And then but you were confident. And so during the exam, did you do anything, or you just focused as you took the exam, or did you do anything to maintain your pace or your confidence or anything during the exam?
So yes, you're getting, you have your minutes, you have, your 180 questions, and you can get a break every 60 questions. And one of the things you need to pay attention to is your timing. So when you are doing the questions at home and you're practicing, I would time myself, say, for instance, you say 1 minute per question. And so say if I'm doing a 20-minute question, I would give myself 15 minutes. So therefore, not quite a minute to do them. And even in my accountability coaching calls, sometimes Rob would say, okay, Mary, I'm going to time you for a minute. Let's answer these questions. And everyone get that opportunity. So those opportunities to time yourself to be ahead of the schedule, because that's going to be a big, challenge area when you get there. So you want to make sure you stay on top of that.
I love it. I love it. All right. So another aspect is I'm just constantly amazed at the community part, the people on the calls being cool, positive with each other, encouraging, working together. What did you think about the community of students and coaches in helping you through the journey? Did it have any effect? And if it did, how did it help you?
So one thing I did enjoy was the community of the students, because, even if I did say, for instance, if we're in one of the coaching calls and we're having a hard time with one of the questions and we really can't understand, of course, you have what they call, what's in that show, where you have a life partner, a life
a lifeline, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of thing. Yeah.
So, but you have team members who can kind of help you see. Everyone is probably coming from a different background, even finance or construction or what have you. So they have a different perspective on how maybe to answer their question. And that's what's beneficial. So, but you can have those individuals to even help you, when you're trying to answer those questions. And then they're so helpful and attentive to say, hey, maybe, if this would have happened, maybe we could have done it this way. So I really appreciate, everyone's mindset and feedback when we're on those coaching sessions.
That's awesome, Marianne. That's awesome. All right. So to finish this out, you did so great. Was it 1, 2, 3 above targets? How did you do?
I did 3 above target, and I was so excited. I had to, look closer to the screen and said, is that what I thought it was? Wow. I was so excited.
It was a really high score. It was way into the green. So you beat me. So that's good. I'm proud of you. So to finish off here, there's a lot of people out there. They've probably been like you, well-intentioned, going to different classes, doing different stuff, maybe studying on their own. They're probably struggling for different reasons, but they all want to be smiling like you. So if you were to give some advice to those people, what would be your advice for those struggling students?
First, I would say is don't give up. Okay. It's going to be challenging. Even if you feel as though you're not at your best and you don't do so well, continue to move forward and don't give up. Stay in contact with your coach, with Scott, because they're here to help us, right? And so continue to move forward. And like I said, don't try to memorize it. Make sure you understand the why we're doing this and how it syncs. And eventually it would click for you.
All right. Well, that is good. Well, yet again, this will not be the last time. These are sad for me because it's like,
Yes.
won't see you in the calls, but it won't be the last time we talk. And if you want to do the Agile stuff, we'll go on later. But we just got to say, I personally am very, very proud of how you did. You were in all the calls. You just were open and honest, and you were putting in the work. So just really, really good job. I can't say enough good things. So
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah. All right. So we got one more thing. We got a person. So we got another person coming in. So if you'd be so kind as to stay on while I pick this next person. I mean, we'll see. 1 second. So we got some different people on here. We got this man. Hey, Mr. I can't even say your name. Leeds. Everybody's here. Dominica, you might win. Who knows? Satosh, Jen Frazier. Who won, Jen? We'll get ready to see. All right. So I'll spin it, and then you tell me when to stop, Marianne, and then I'll pick one. Go for it.
Stop.
Stop. All right. We'll read the name. That's Nathan Meador. So, Marianne, he's the new person. He's going to be the you in about a month or less. Yet again, I wanted to say thanks again, and I'll call you later and we'll talk. And then I'm going to bring this winner on and see if we can get this going. So, thank you again.
Thank you so much. Bye. Good luck.
See ya. All right, cool. So, Nathan.
Hey,
We already
Scott,
knew you won. For anybody out there that thinks I picked it from the hat, we already knew he won, dude. There's nothing in the hat other than that thing. But whatever. Nice to meet you, man. Congratulations on winning the fancy $2,000 accelerator thing. My guys digitally pulled it out randomly, and you are the winner. So that's awesome.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You don't have any advice for students, so we're going to get through. So, all right, cool. So you get access to the accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about it?
A little bit, not too much. I know it's like boot camp style, so it's going to be a lot more condensed, fast paced, hopefully.
Yeah, kind of. So, not necessarily boot camp in the sense of like, hey, there's a defined schedule that you have to go because my schedule matters than your schedule. Nope, flipped. Your schedule matters more than mine, and we, like an accordion, make it fit your schedule. So why don't we just do this? So first of all, congratulations on winning the thing. And then I'm going to talk to you about, I'm just going to go through like the onboarding call. That we have an onboarding call with every single student. It's usually with me so that we can understand. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and we're just going to talk. The goal here is for me to like meld minds with you so that I can understand exactly where you're coming from, what your unique kind of learning style, all that stuff, so that I can partner you with a coach and myself, and we start working you through on your pace. Is that cool?
Gotcha. Yep.
All right, sweet. So how's studying going? Did you cold? Have you done study in the past? You kind of stagnated now? Like, what's going on, man?
Basically stagnated. I did get like a couple courses online that were self-paced.
Okay.
They were good. But basically I kind of, long story short is, whole family kind of got sick, we all actually caught COVID. Everybody perfectly fine and all well, but that was like a month-long process of like recovering. And then it kind of fell through the cracks, and then trying to, recover and pick everything back up. So that's basically when I saw the sweepstakes, I was like, that's what I need to get back in, and, gave it a shot.
There you go. You're winner. I have never won anything, so congratulations on you winning. All right. So why are we doing this? Why do you want it? Career stuff, flexibility, better PM, all the like. Why are we getting your PMP?
Basically, a little bit of all the above. I kind of was never really interested in my PMP or pursuing it, or even project management, until I basically, graduated, worked, went back, got my MBA online with a focus on IT management. And during that time is when I took basically some project management courses in that program.
Cool.
And in doing so, I was like, hey, this is actually, I found it interesting. Found like it was something I could do. But then I was also kind of interested in IT. So it's kind of been like a work in progress. I went back and kind of did some help desk and regular IT positions just to kind of get groundwork. And then I've also done like some side project coordinator and like junior PM positions. So
Okay.
It's career to kind of move up because I want to be more focused as far as project management. Because I've kind of been, even though I'm moving in that direction, I'm kind of like hopping back and forth between, what's available and what's not.
All right.
So if I get the certification and I do have at least some experience in project management, I feel like I can actually move forward with my career and just focus on project management.
Awesome, dude.
So of course that offers flexibility and everything else with it, but that I feel like it's going to give me that push that I need to go, hey, what are you looking for? What are you looking to do? Project management. That's it.
Totally dig it. So I'm taking notes, like stagnated a little bit due to COVID, etc. problems. You're, IT focused and stuff, better project manager, better flexibility, better career. That's awesome. How fast do we want to do this thing? Like you have a goal tomorrow night, a week, year. When do you want to do it?
30 days would be pretty nice. Yeah.
Okay. So 30 days will be nice. All right. So let's see if we can get there. All right. So let me ask you, how many hours a week without messing up your life and schedule too much? Are you a 5-hour a week guy, 10 hour, 15 plus 20? Like what do you think? What's reasonable for your life?
We can try to do like around 8 hours a week.
8 hours a week. All right. So 8, 16, 32. So 8, I think we can do 4, like in 4 weeks. Like we've done a little over 600 in the past year and a little bit. People through, we have a lot of data. And if we put in about 8 to 10 a week, 4 weeks is pretty good. So we're going to give you the 35 hours. So we got to get the time in, right? Because we got the course and the coaching calls, which we'll talk about. But 4 weeks, I think we can get done. Have you done your application yet?
For the PMP, yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay.
It's already
so that saves us a little bit of time.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. So you're approved. No, otherwise we would have helped you with that and coached you with that, but we can just spend a little bit more time studying. So I think in 8 hours, 10 hours a week, we can be done in 4 weeks. But what we're going to do is lay out a plan for you, and I'll talk to you about how it happens, and we'll guide you through it. Simple as that. All right. So cool. Let me ask you another question. Biggest PMP fear? Like,
I guess as far as the exam or being a project management professional.
Like, you're scared of like test centers or whatever. Like some people are scared of the actual exam, like whatever. Like anything.
I'm not really afraid of taking tests. It's more just taking tests, not being fully prepared. And that's also why it's kind of been pushed back too, is because I just don't feel prepared enough to take it. As far as in the PMP or in the project manager world, like I said, that's kind of where I was using this to help build more skills in understanding in the fundamentals of project management. So, basically so that way I'm more credible. I don't really have any doubt that I can manage some of the projects because I've help facilitate some of them and everything, but kind of not having, if I didn't have this, like I said, I lack the credibility.
I understand. All right. So the credibility is big there. All right. So let's talk about how you learn. All right, man. Are you the kind of like, hey, I love books and I want to go and like nail my face to them and memorize and make it sense? Are you on that side of the fence, or are you out there like, got to make it visual, got to understand it, want to understand why, see how things flow, have it relatable to my regular job, be able to talk through it through people? How do you best learn?
Like a little bit of both, but I kind of like to be walked through and visually shown and everything first. And then once I kind of see the process and kind of, like I said, get walked through it, then I'm comfortable kind of jumping in and doing some of the book work or whatever else.
Okay. Well, I got good news and I got bad news. We're going to do all that stuff, like walking you through step by step, making it simple, talking it through with you. But you don't have to read anything. Is that cool?
That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
That's cool. No PMBOK, no anything. I love the PMBOK people. I've read enough for everybody. But no, we don't have to read. We got a workbook that you can follow through, but no reading. That's cool.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because I've seen the PMBOK and I've looked at it and I'm like, there's got to be a cheat sheet for some of these processes. So it kind of lets me just run through it real quick. So
all right, cool. And so here's one of the rules. Like Marianne said, no memorization, no data dump. We want to understand. And it's like anything else. If you don't understand something, like we just want to understand big picture, and then your accountability coach and me are there and the other students to like, hey man, like what don't you understand? We'll talk you through it. So we want to get away from this belief that we have to do a data dump. That's for suckers. Like we're going to go and understand. We're going to use a thing called the evaporating data dump. You'll learn all about it in the course. And what it is we write down the areas where we feel like not secure or we don't know things. And then we talk through it with all the coaches that I line up for you to work with. So there's no reason to suffer alone because we're going to cover you. So we're good there. If that's comfortable with you.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 coaching calls at a minimum per week. They're either at noon, 7 p.m. or 8:30 Eastern. Which one of those times works best for you?
Noon.
Noon. All right. So your coach is named Salvador. He is amazing. He's your accountability coach. We have him on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. What day works best for you?
Let's see. Let's do. So yeah, 2 days you said?
No, this one, the accountability call, where I'll explain what it is.
That's just one.
But it's either Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. You can shift around as we get into it, but we like to keep you on a pace,
Let's do Thursday.
Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Okay. And so we can put you in there tomorrow. If you're comfortable with that, I'll send you the invite.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half. I'll talk you through what we do in there. Okay. So in these accountability calls, we're going to help set a pace for you. Now, I've been taking notes. All right.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is write a message to Salvador. And I'm going to say, hey, man, he is kind of stagnated in the study. He wants to get it in about a month or less. He has about 8 to 10 hours a week. There's no strict deadline, but this is where we want to go. He's a big picture thinker. He understands. He wants to see it visual, be walked through it, not afraid to do anything that you need to do. That's all I need to tell him. And then what he's going to do is say, hey, man, welcome to here. And then he's going to walk you through, here's the timeline. Here's what I need you to do the first week. He's just going to give you very descriptive instructions, like bang, bang, bang. This is what you do. You guys are going to digitally shake hands. It's going to have a little report on there, a little tracking thing for the progress. And then you get moving, and then you can access him through the site. You can access him in the calls and all that stuff. Sound okay?
Gotcha. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So this is what you need to do in the calls. Like you need to come there and say like, hey, man, I'm either ahead or behind, which is totally cool, whatever. Life's weird. And then here's where I'm good. I feel really confident on this stuff. And I learned this and I kind of like it. Cool. And then here's the things that I don't feel as confident on. Because if he can learn that and know from you, then y'all can talk through it. And the other people in the call. Yeah. Does that sound good? Or what are you saying?
No, I was going to say that's going to benefit, him and me to figure out where to go and what to focus on. Yeah.
Yeah. And it'll keep you on a pace. And then also there's going to be about 3 other students in the call. And they're going to be at different places in the journey. And the reason why we do that is because if we got all newbies together, they think like newbies. Like they think like new people. And they're like little baby ducks walking across the street. And a lot of ducks get run over. It's terrible. What we want is like an elder duck to be like, oh, I thought that way before. Here's how I see it. And they become what we call like a peer coach. And like they can actually like be, hey, Nathan, this is what I saw. This is how I learned. This is the way I stubbed my toe. And then you're like, oh, that's cool. And then eventually, before you know it, you go from baby duck to older duck, and then you graduate duck. I don't know. And so that's how it works. So that's it. Then there's one more call, and it's on Wednesdays. And those are with me or a person like me, like Sandy Mitchell or Matt Lewick. And what we do is we go through hard questions. All right. We do it from like the first week till we're done. And what we do is I shut up and you already know a method we're going to teach you in the course. All our students solve the same way. And we just say, hey, man, you and a buddy in the call, walk me through it. You just walk through the question. You tell us, this is what I think the real issue is. Here's the context that matters. I've never faced this before, but if it wasn't me, I would do it this way. Cool. And then I say, why? Tell me more. Da-da-da. I'm trying to draw it out of you. What I'm trying to get you to do is logic through things. You've probably heard it before.
Thought process,
Thought process. That's what matters because we want a repeatable process. And I want you to be comfortable navigating the problems. And I can't do it if it's just in here. You got to get it out so that we can talk it through. I cannot read minds yet.
All right.
And so we go through each answer and then we're like, why do you like it? Why do you dislike it? Slow down, think it through, blah, blah, blah. We're just getting you to talk it out. That's how it works. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So we're going to do Wednesday. You cool with noon on Wednesday or what?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sweet. So we got your 2 calls, accountability and hard questions.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yep.
Wednesday, Thursday. Don't worry. I'll send you an email. It's automated. Everything's simple and you get links and all that junk. And then, all right. So let me see. Then there are 3 big steps. You want me to walk you through it? The 3 things I got to do with you to make sure you pass in a month or less? You want me to walk you through it?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right, sweet. Here's the first thing. You're going to get, well, I walk it through and inform in the videos, but we have an e-course that goes straight down, modules 1 by 1, each with a purpose and a plan. Now, we're having these coaching calls. They layer on top of the e-course. Now, the e-course is step 1. What we're trying to do first is I've got to take all the PMBOK and all the Agile stuff, and I've got to simplify it down in like under 3.5 hours. So step 1 is to make sense of everything. I got to make the PMBOK logical, relatable, and usable in your mind. Okay? We're going to demystify everything. The way we're going to do that is we're going to talk about why. Why does Agile and why does Waterfall exist? If you're not really strong in either one, it doesn't matter. I'm going to talk to you like I'm talking now. Questions and answers. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to be there. I'm a video, but it's going to be back and forth. And we're going to go like, hey, what is the lens we have on at the beginning is what is most important? And so we say like at the beginning of the project, what are we trying to accomplish and why? We're going to nail that down and we're going to put that stake in the ground. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Cool. What's next? What's next? And you and I are going to go on a journey and walk all the way through the course, nailing down the most essential things because there's a lot of information, but what really matters is the most important stuff. By the end of it, we get our arms around it. And my challenge is to get you to go, oh, goodness me. I see myself as the hero of the story now. I see how this relates. I now understand it. I understand the full picture. And this ain't so bad. That's on me. And I just lost him. It's okay. He's coming back. He's coming back. Let's answer some questions while he goes there. Device is connected. All right, cool. Congratulations, Nathan. He's coming back on. That's awesome, dude. Sinceria says, congratulations, Nathan. That's awesome. Laura says, congratulations, Nathan. Not a big deal. I know you didn't run away, dude. I know it was the internet machine. We're good. All right, so step 1, get our arms around it. All right, makes sense right there. Like we got a good hold. It only takes us about 3.5-ish hours across a couple videos. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so the first step, the glasses we wear, is what is the most important thing.
Okay.
Second step is we have to focus down on the issues. All right, so we put on a new pair of glasses, and it's having us see issues. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through this. We're going to walk through all the content again, just letting you know what's coming. And we're going to focus on, at this critical point, what kind of issues could come up and get us? Like zombies out of the ground, what issues could come here? Okay. What I want you to feel is like, feel it in your gut. Like, oh God, if this happened on my project, it would be terrible. Because we want to viscerally feel this. And then we want to make a decision. Do we run to the PMBOK and see what the smarter people than us do? Or do we go in our own brain and say, what would I do?
Okay.
What we want to do is say, what would I do? What would we do together? What we're doing is we're taking the problem, we're getting our solution, and we're sticking them together.
Okay.
That's how we really remember. That's like the secret sauce. If we can take a problem, we can take our solution, we can stick them together. We don't have to memorize anything. Gotcha. As we walk, we'll wrap a fancy name around it. That's called blah, blah, blah. Sweet. It's stuck. You might not get it the first time, but you're going to get it as we move through. We walk all the way through, making sure that we identify the problems and the solutions, boom, together. Everything's good. Okay. So that's how we're going to do waves of the content over and over, nice and easy, so that it all comes home and it feels like you are the expert. That's what we want.
Okay.
There's going to be a couple focus modules, one on how to manage our mind and our emotions, called emotional resilience. Some people get nervous. Don't shirk that one. Go through it. It's worth listening to. Hour and a half. Okay. Then there's one that's like how to solve problems. And I go like super deep for like 4 hours across a bunch of videos to be like, here's how we approach problems. Here's the template. Here's how I'm using it. Watch me break it down. All that stuff so you feel comfortable. So
Okay.
as we go through that, you're going to be going through these steps. Salvador's going to lay them out for you, and you're going to bring them like, oh, I don't totally understand this. He's going to help break that down and make it smooth in your brain. Okay?
Okay.
Sweet. That's how it works. That's the magic. And then that is it, dude. So you are ready. So you're ready to go. I am going to lay all this stuff out, shoot it to Salvador, and then you'll have an email in your account tonight that says how to log in. Just start at the top of the PMP Accelerator. You can get through in 7 days. You don't have to. And then just start watching, and then you're in a call tomorrow with what's his name? With Salvador, and we'll go from there.
All right. Sounds good.
Any questions?
That's it for now. I'm ready to get started.
All right. You're ready to accelerate your PMP? I can dig it. We're good. Dude, it's great to meet you. I'm super happy that you won. Everybody else, don't worry. If anybody else is like, oh, man, I didn't win, don't worry. Everybody's going to win something. We're going to have plenty of coaching calls and different stuff. Everybody else will get an email very, very soon with a bunch of different options they can go through. Everybody wins, but Nathan wins big, big, big. So that's cool. So that's the way it goes, dude. All right. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later. See ya, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.